Thank you all for joining us today for another one of our Beyond School Hours webinars. My name is Elizabeth Seary, and I am the Executive Director of Communications and Development for Foundations, Inc. Foundations is a national nonprofit. Our mission is to improve the quality of education by strengthening the skills of educators. So we do that by working in after-school programs, in classrooms, in districts, and even at the state level to create a brighter future for every child every day. You might know us already from the Beyond School Hours conference. We hold the conference every year in February. This next February will be in Orlando, Florida from February 9th through the 12th. And the registration is open for that event, and I'll put that all in the chat for you. And today we're just really grateful to have you here with us. We'd like to welcome the amazing Clint Dar, who's the Resource Center Coordinator for the Missouri After School Network. Clint is going to share some techniques from laughter therapy and laughter yoga that you can use with your colleagues, your students, and your families. So thanks, Clint, for being here. Oops, I think you're on mute.
All right, now, can everybody hear me? All right, looks like I got a thumbs up from Elizabeth. So we will go ahead and get started. So thank you, Elizabeth, for that introduction. I'm very excited, very honored to be here today. Let me get my slideshow working. All right. Elizabeth touched on a little bit about what Foundations does, and she's the expert on it because, she works there. But I've done some work with them. I've presented for them, and they're amazing what they do in the field of out of school time. And so a shout out to my friends and colleagues at Foundations and the Beyond School Hours conference that they put on. They didn't ask me to do this, but I felt compelled to put the little save the date thing up there because I'm going to be there. And if you haven't attended one of their conferences, they are amazing. Great opportunity for professional development and networking and all that. So hope to see you there in February. And it's a great opportunity. So a shout out to all my friends at Beyond School Hours. Elizabeth, thank you for helping with the technical stuff today. Paula was part of that as well. Of course, Rhonda, I mentioned, she is absolutely amazing as your Chief Executive Officer. I've worked with Tony, done some work with Jessica, and I know there's a lot of others, but thank you for being here today. And like I said, I'm just honored to be here. Let's talk a little bit about laughter and how good it is for you and what it can do for you. We're going to do some audience participation. It's rough doing laughter when you're virtual, because part of the power of laughter is having all the people in the room. But we can make it work. We're going to do some things. I'm going to share some things with you that you can do for yourself and for your out of school time program. So my name is Clint Dar. As Elizabeth mentioned, I do work for the Missouri After School Network, and it's an amazing job. I love my team there. I love what we do for after school in our state. And I'm the resource coordinator for Missouri, and a fantastic job. However, shortly after I started work with the After School Network in Missouri, I was asked to consider presenting at a national after school conference. And so I submitted, and the topic I chose, just because I love it so much, is laughter and humor, and how that can be used. And that got accepted, and I presented, and went very well received. And I started getting invites to speak at other conferences and events and so forth. And it kind of launched this whole thing that I do with laughter. So much so that I started my own company that I call You Gotta Laugh. Okay. And when I formed the company, they put this little tagline on there, LLC, You Gotta Laugh LLC. And I've been trying to figure out what that LLC stands for. So in the chat box, if you would type in the chat box, help me out with what that LLC might stand for. Now, one guy I knew, kind of a nerdy type, he said, Limited Liability Corporation. And I'm like, well, that's no fun. So give me some thoughts on what it might be to make it more fun. One suggestion I got, and I didn't know how to take this, was large laughing cow. I was like, wait a minute, should I be insulted? But anyway, so give me some other thoughts. Legendary laugh collaborator. Oh man, right off the bat, we get a great one like that. Laugh lots until you cry. Living life courageously. Okay, guys, you're doing just what I hoped you would do. This is going exactly what I would want you to do. Susie, cows are beautiful, so not an insult. Yes, thank you. I agree. I think cows are cool creatures, and if you've ever looked one in the face, oh my gosh, their eyes are just so big and soulful. So anyway, keep those coming, as you can be thinking on it as I continue my little introduction, and share those thoughts. Get your creative juices flowing. But I'm loving those. So anyway, I do have some hobbies. I like cooking my family and my dog. Somebody said I should probably put commas in there. My dog looked a little bit nervous when I rehearsed that line out loud the other day. So yeah, you get what I'm saying there, right? All right. I did a TED Talk, and it was TEDx, but that was amazing. And we figured out kind of what my theme would be for my TED Talk before I knew the timeline. Okay, if you can read it, if you can see the small print on the slide, the power of laughter and how it can form bonds across political parties, age, race, gender, and a myriad of other labels that tend to divide us. That sounds pretty cool. And then they told me I had 12 minutes. I was like, what? So anyway, it was a very nerve-wracking 12 minutes, but I really grew from that experience, and it was an honor to get to do that TED Talk. I've had other jobs before getting into the after-school world. I was a firefighter EMT for a number of years, and that was a very fulfilling job, helping people. The adrenaline, it was amazing, but it was also a very dangerous job, I found. I one time fell off a 100-foot ladder. True story. But fortunately, I was on the bottom rung when I fell off. So yeah, okay. So yeah, sorry about that. I was a classroom teacher, and teachers would always have told you that that's a job that's as dangerous as being a firefighter, and now unfortunately even more so with some of the things that happen in our schools. So I definitely have respect, the highest respect, as a former teacher myself, for that profession. And everyone that's on here today, we're all teachers. Okay. Anyone that I, when I have a group of after school, workers together, and I say, how many of you all out in the audience are teachers? And, some hands go up, and I'm like, wrong answer. we're all teachers. Okay. We're all teachers. Also a laughter yoga instructor. Laughter yoga is a real thing, and we're going to do at least one or two examples of that while we're meeting here today. And then the one with the question mark, MS. That's what I aspire to be. But what does that stand for? Well, I've got this here to remind me. And you'll see it's got that logo that says just do it. It's not Nike. I mean, I know that's Nike's logo. That's not who I'm promoting. It's just I like the positivity of that. And if you can see what I've put that on, it's this thing that I use to play music over. This is what I want to be. It's a motivational speaker. Motivational speaker. Yeah, I told you my jokes were bad. So anyway, let's move on and talk some about laughter and humor and its importance. Get this thing to advance. All right, so when I go out and present, and I get to travel, it's been amazing. So I always like to poke fun of wherever I go, and it's gentle, it's good-natured fun, just to kind of get a few chuckles. And so, for instance, just last week, I was presenting in North Dakota, in Fargo, at their state after-school conference. And I don't know if there's anyone on here today that might have been there. But wonderful conference, great people up there. Enjoyed it so much. But the little jab I took at North Dakota was the meme that said, North Dakota, so flat you can watch your dog running away for 2 weeks. So it's very flat up there. So I enjoyed that. But since we've got a nationwide audience here today, I'm just going to poke a little bit of fun at my own state. So I'm from Missouri, and we've been getting more and more dairy farms. So they're considering changing our state motto here in Missouri, but I really think they need to rethink it just a little bit, because here's our proposed new state motto. Come smell our dairy air. Come smell our dairy air. So, yeah, just you might want to rethink that just a little. All right, moving along. Who are you? So at this point, I was going to tell you to type your name and location in the chat box, but most of you have done that. If you haven't already, go ahead and put that in there. But the third thing on that slide, I want you to do right now as well. If you've already done your name and location, you don't have to repeat that. You can just type in a number. But how many times a day would you estimate that you laugh? I know you don't know it exactly. It's going to be just kind of an average. It's going to be a guess. But how many times a day do you think you laugh out loud? Okay. And then we'll circle back to that. And I'm seeing some of you putting numbers in already. I see a 5, a 10, a 3, 2 to 3, 20. There's a 3. We're going to circle back to that in just a minute. So keep putting those numbers up there, because I'd like to see that from as many of you as possible. All right. Look at that smile spreading across that screen. Put a smile on your face. I can see a few of you. The way my screens are set up, I can't see the whole group of you at once. And I know, some of you don't even have your cameras on. But for those that have your cameras on and those that don't, it doesn't matter. Put a smile on your face right now. Show me a big smile. Okay. And notice how that feels. And I'm asking you to do this. Like I said, we're not even, if your camera is turned off, we're not even seeing whether you're doing it or not. No judgment. But if you'll do it, I want you to notice how that feels. A smile is an instant mood changer. Okay, so we're going to talk about laughter, but a smile is just kind of almost a laugh that hasn't grown up yet. Okay, so if you smile, it can just change your mood instantly. And so smile even when you least feel like it, because it can change your mood. I use smiles a lot. I have a tendency toward road rage. Nothing serious. I'm not going to try to beat anyone up or anything, not like I could. But, what I've learned is if someone, does something crazy when they're driving, they take my parking spot or they cut me off, it's not going to do any good to honk or do some gesture. It's just going to escalate things, not going to change their behavior. So instead, I just put a smile on my face. And what that does is it just calms me. And the endorphins are flowing when that happens. And I just calm down. And there's the added benefit of, if that person does see you and they know what they've done, they know how they're driving. And if they see you just smiling, they're gonna wonder what you're smiling about after they've just done this. So try that smile thing. Instant mood changer. One of the easiest things you can do that can change your day. All right. Laughter yoga. It's a thing. People say, why do they call it laughter yoga? What's the connection to yoga? Do you do poses and those things? Not really. It's more about the oxygenation, the breathing, because yogic breathing is part of laughter yoga. And so what we're going to do, we're going to do a little breathing exercise right now. And the first part we're going to do without laughter. And you may have done this many times. A lot of presenters will do breathing things with their people, but do this with me. It's going to oxygenate your body and you're going to feel even better than you did before. So the components of effective breathing exercises is to take a deep breath in through your nose. Okay, you're going to breathe in through your nose for about 4 seconds. You're going to hold it for about 4 seconds. And then you breathe it out. Okay, the way it's normally taught is you breathe out through your mouth. You purse your lips and make that exhalation take twice as long as the inhalation. So about 8 seconds to breathe out. Okay, so it's very simple, but oh my gosh, the benefits from filling those air sacs in your lungs and then holding it and then breathing it out is amazing. So if you all will with me right now, do that. And again, if you don't do it, that's fine, but try it. You'll like the feeling. So with me, big breath in through your nose, fill your lungs for 4 seconds right now. Hold it. And breathe it out through your mouth. 8 seconds. All right. If you'll do that 2 or 3 times, anytime during the day, several times a day, that's great for you. We're going to add one more component, and we're going to do it together once more, but this time there's going to be one small change. We're going to laugh it out or chuckle it out instead of breathing it out. Instead of pushing it out through our pursed lips, we're going to laugh it out. Now, I tried to laugh on inhalation one time. And you can try that in your own space right now. Try to breathe in and laugh at the same time. It just doesn't work. It just does not work. But fortunately, we can laugh on our exhalation. So same thing, except 4 seconds breath in through your nose, hold it for 4, and then 8 seconds of chuckling to let that air out. And that's even better than doing it the other way. So let's try it together. Big breath in through your nose. Hold it for 4. And now chuckle it out. And I could keep going. All right. So simple breathing exercises. If you did it with me, I'm proud of you. If not, do it when we're done. And just notice how good it makes you feel. Okay, so that's one of the things we do when we do a laughter yoga session, is we start with some breathing exercises that involve laughter. All right, I have a motto, and my motto is, if I can make at least one person smile or pee their pants a little, my day was not wasted. Okay, so the good news is I'm already having a terrific day, because some of you were smiling with me already when I asked you earlier to put a smile on your face. So I am already having a good day, and maybe we don't even have to get to that second part. Okay, that's the good news. All right, I'm liking your comments. I don't get to see everything that comes up. Just because I'm focusing on my slides and all, but I do appreciate the comments that you all put in there. And I'm seeing people have put in numbers for laughter. Deneen said, 3 to 5 times a day, not nearly enough. And that's true. So thank you. Keep those comments and emojis and anything else coming in the chat box. I love to see those, and I may not catch them all. All right. Next slide. I'm going to ask you a question. And again, because I like to keep it interactive, I'm going to ask you to type the answer in the chat box. Yes, it's kind of a rhetorical question, right? Who can laugh? So type your answer to that question in the chat box. Who can laugh? And while you're doing that, we'll talk about the slide. There's 4 people, and they're historical figures. Can you name all 4 of the people that are shown? And it's okay if you can't, but fairly well-known figures, all 4, and they did different things, and were involved in different organizations and did things in different ways. But all 4 of them, humanitarian efforts and working for people's rights and working with people that suffered to better their lives. So they saw a lot of difficult things and experienced a lot of stress, and yet they all knew the importance of laughter and humor. So you look at a person, like these that are pictured, and you go, how could they look so cheerful when things were, when they were dealing with such, difficult things? Well, they knew that to keep their balance and to keep their perspective and to keep going, they had to be able to laugh. Only one of those 4 people pictured are still with us today. The others have passed on, but the 14th Dalai Lama is still around. So it's really cool. And I'm looking now in the chat box, and the 2 main words I'm seeing are everyone and anyone. Me, thank you, Anastasia. Yeah, any and all. So yeah, thank you for those, because that's obviously the answer to that question we were looking for. Thank you for participating. All right, we're going to circle back now. Preschool-aged children laugh up to 400 times a day, but by the time we reach adulthood, we only laugh about 17 times per day. Okay, there was a study. I wish I had the time and the money or whatever that I could do those kinds of studies. But think about that. Kids are the experts on laughter, and then we grow up, and what happens? We laugh a lot less. And if we ask, why does that happen? Well, the answer will be, and we don't even need to type this in because it's, I guess would be obvious. Well, we get responsibilities, we have jobs, we have families, we have to provide for ourselves and for our families, and and we have to deal with the stresses of in politics and traffic and health and all that. And so yeah, we can't just sit around laughing all day like kids. So I agree, we may not be able to laugh 400 times a day like those kids that are just running around all day laughing and playing, but we can do better than 17. And when I look back at those numbers from earlier, a lot of us were estimating numbers that were below that 17. Okay, Sabrina, you were 20, so shout out to you. I see a lot of 10s. Dave, 25, good for you. Anastasia had 20. Okay, but I see some 3s and 5s. Yeah, that's not enough. All right. Time to laugh. Okay, there's different kinds of laughter. Okay, smiles, giggles, chuckles, laughs. And while I'm going through my 3 favorite kinds of laughter, I would like for you in the chat box to type in other words to describe laughter. So along the lines of, a giggle, a chuckle, a laugh. Can you think of other words that mean to laugh? Okay, so do that. And I'm going to talk about my 3 favorite kinds of laughter. 1, laughing so hard that your laugh becomes silent. And if you see someone that's in this state of laughter, you're going to think they're probably in distress, because they'll probably be bent over double, and they'll probably be covering their mouth, and they'll just be mostly silent, or maybe wheezing. So it's like this. And they can't even talk. You're asking me like, "Are you okay?" And they're just like, they'll hold up their hand and they can't even talk. So I love that when you laugh so hard that it becomes silent. That's one of my favorites. And that might go right along with number 2, which is feeling a 6-pack coming on. So 6-pack abs. People that work out talk about having 6-pack abs. Well, if you laugh hard and long, you're going to feel your stomach muscles getting sore, because that is a great workout for those abdominal muscles. And in my case, I don't just get a 6-pack, I get a whole keg. So yeah. And then finally, number 3, tears coming out of your eyes. So you're laughing so hard that you're crying. And again, that's intense laughter. But when it happens, it's like nothing else in the world. A friend got me this sign because of my love for laughter, and I'm seeing if I can see in the screen. And what my sign says: I laughed so hard, tears ran down my leg. So I show this sign when I present, in person. I'll have this with me. And I was presenting to a group of kids one time, elementary kids, and showed them that sign. I didn't read it to them. I just held it up after we talked about, laughing so hard that, you'd cry. And I showed them this, and their eyes get big as they read it, and they go, that means you laughed so hard you peed your pants. And I look at the sign and go, oh, is that what that means? I just thought it meant you laughed so hard that tears were falling down on your leg and running down your leg. And anyway, they get quite the kick out of this sign that talks about something like that. I had one little boy that was in the front row when I was presenting and did this. He raised his hand real quick, and I said, yes. And he said, one time I laughed so hard I farted. You gotta love kids, because they will say what's on their mind. So yeah, just be ready for that. Okay, how many, did anyone describe other words for laughing? Did anyone get around to that one? I have to scroll down because I got behind. Pamela hit the one that I was really hoping someone would say, because it's one of my favorites: a guffaw. I just love the word, but a guffaw. I don't know if I could even tell you what does a guffaw sound like, but yeah, chortle is another good one. A titter, yes, that's a real one. In hysterics, LOL. A cackle, yes. How does a witch laugh? They cackle, of course, yes. Rolling around on the floor. Rolling on the floor laughing. A snicker, yeah, it's not just a candy bar, is it? A howl. Howling with laughter. Thank you. You guys are great. And thank you for jumping in and participating. All right, we got to move on here. So I'm telling you, you got to laugh. But why? What if you don't feel like laughing? And I'm saying you got to anyway. But we're going to talk about the why. This guy here reminds me, when I was a little kid, my dad, that's where I get my sense of humor. My, bad sense of humor is from my dad. And one of the things I remember him telling me as a kid, he would say, Clint, you were born at a very early age. I'd be like, Dad, what does that even mean? I love my dad. Love my dad. Okay, so check it out. Laughing is good for you. It's kind of intuitive. We know that. But did you know there are not just 41, not just 400, but probably thousands of studies now that have been done about the benefits and the effects of humor and laughter. Because it's becoming a thing that medical personnel, researchers are realizing has a positive effect on our health. And so studies have been done by universities, by the medical journals like the American Journal of Medicine, Mayo Clinic. Doctors have done research to help document the effectiveness of laughter as a treatment and a preventative for all kinds of different things. So we're gonna wish we had time to go through some of these studies. I've actually looked at some of them just to kind of further my understanding, but obviously we don't have the time, but they're out there. But what are some of these benefits that they're finding in these studies? There's physical benefits. Your immune system will be boosted if you laugh on a regular basis. We're not talking about 2 or 3 times a day, but more times, but effective laughter. So if you go to a laughter yoga session, you'll spend 30 minutes to an hour just doing various laughter activities. So much so that, like I was talking about earlier, your stomach will be hurting from all the laughing. That's the kind of laughter that's going to give you these benefits, not just the occasional, oh, haha, that was a funny joke. Yeah, we've got to be intentional about our laughter, just like we are with exercise. Laughter is a lot more fun though. So immune system, stress will be reduced, pain tolerance, pain will be decreased and higher pain tolerance. That's important for, arthritis patient or the people that suffer arthritis. They'll have a reduction in the pain that they experience. Muscles will be relaxed and strengthened. Heart disease will be reduced, incidence of heart disease. Won't necessarily make it go away. No guarantee that you would never have heart disease, if you laugh on a regular basis, but it does reduce the occurrence. Mental health benefits, some of these overlap, like that reduction in stress, improved mood, resilience. The social benefits, we do a lot around social emotional learning in our after school programs. Look at those benefits that laughter can help bring. Strengthened relationships. Others are attracted to us because of our laughter. It enhances teamwork. Teams that laugh together do better work together. It's a good conflict resolution strategy, and it does promote group bonding. All those things, and there's no prescription. Imagine if the pharmaceutical companies could come up with a pill that did all that and with no side effects. Okay, it's pretty amazing when you think about it, but it really can do all that. I felt like I wanted to include a slide about how laughter is good for kids specifically, because we can use this in our after school programs. So it can lower the stress levels for kids. It can increase attention span. There will be better focus, better mood, energy and concentration will be improved, communication skills, learning to connect and interact socially, learning acceptance and respect, breaking ego barriers. So a lot of those social emotional components that can be fostered and improved through regular laughter. Okay, and so I've kind of touched on these things, your improved health and energy, all those things, reduction in stress and your tension and negativity. Okay, so all those things are true. This slide does a good job of kind of summing things up. I'm not going to read all the words on the slide. I'm just going to tell you that if you do laugh on a regular basis and have a good sense of humor, you will be healthier. Okay, that's what that research is documenting. By being healthier, okay, you'll be happier. And it goes, a lot of people, if you ask them, what do you wish for most in this world? And they'll typically say one of two things, either, to be healthy or to be happy. I just want to be happy. That's kind of a totally encompassing wish. I just want to be happy. It's not necessarily about money or jobs or things. I just want to be happy. And by being healthy, you can be happy. And when you have those two things, you're going to be a better contribution to the world. Okay. And so in your job, in your family life, in your relationships, you will be a better contributor because you've got those other two things going for you. And you have laughter and you have your sense of humor. Talk just briefly about chemistry. Okay. Because there is it's like, what goes on when people laugh that promote, that bring about these benefits that we're talking about. And without going in depth, because I'm not a scientist, I didn't do well in chemistry in high school, but I do understand the chemicals that they're talking about here. One of them is oxytocin, the love hormone. Okay, it just it's those feelings that come out when you're playing with a pet or a baby or getting a hug or getting a compliment or paying a compliment. So oxytocin is a good thing. Endorphins, we've already touched on. When you laugh or even smile, endorphins are released in your body. Okay, and your body likes it. Okay, so laughter, aromatherapy, watching comedy shows, eating dark chocolate, yes, exercise even releases endorphins. You hear about a runner's high. It's because of those endorphins that are released as they're exercising. Dopamine, the reward chemical. Okay, that's that feeling you get for finishing a task. It's the way I'll feel when I get done with this talk today, because as much as I love doing it, it's always good to have it done. Like, yeah, that was good, and you feel good. Celebrating accomplishments. And then, of course, serotonin, the mood stabilizer, that's going to help you rest and relax and sleep better. So there's a lot going on when you laugh. All these chemicals are generated, and these are the good ones. Okay, these are the good ones that occur naturally in your body. We want these. Okay, so we come to this point. I've been telling about benefits and like almost miraculous sounding things that laughter can do. How do you find this magical elixir called laughter? Well, first you have to assume a laughter-ready attitude. Okay, humor and laughter are everywhere. You just have to look for it and be aware that it's there. I come into a room and I see a coat hook, and it's like, okay, it's a coat hook. I'm not going to give it a second thought. Until one time I noticed that someone had scrawled beneath this, and I'm not advocating defacing public property, but someone had scrawled a note below this coat hook: drunk octopus wants to fight. And from that moment on, I could never look at a coat hook of that style again, because now it's very clear what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a drunk octopus that's ready to fight. All right, bring it on. All right. Okay, another common household object coming up. What do you see when I put up this slide? Just a doorknob, right? I see an old man that's surprised or startled that also has a very big nose. Okay, you see that with me? Okay, you might just look over those kind of things, but if you've got your mind open to it, you see those things and you go, oh my gosh, look at the old man with the big nose, and you take a picture and you share it. All right. Next slide. I love this one. See these two trucks on the interstate? If you're driving, don't try to take a picture and get in a wreck. But oh my gosh, I see these two trucks. And, if you don't know Taylor Swift, I mean, hopefully everyone made that connection. Oh, Taylor Swift. And I've only got one thing to say about these trucks being out there like this on the highway. And that is, these trucks are never, ever, ever getting back together. If you're not a Taylor Swift fan, that might mean nothing to you, but if you are, you'll get it. All right, some other signs, some other things. Some of these are pictures I've taken. Some are pictures that people have sent me that have seen my presentation and had something that they've seen and sent a picture of, and other things I've pulled from the internet. I try not to use as much of that, but I get them from all sources. And when I find one I love, I put it out there. This place has gone out of business now, I understand. And with a sign like this, maybe you can understand why. I saw a similar sign at a place, and they had the gas pumps were out behind the restaurant. So their sign actually said, eat here, get gas in rear. So yeah, took it even a little step further. All right, how about this one? It's a business. Septic tanks pumped, swimming pools filled. Not same truck. I'm kind of glad that they put that on there. I guess maybe they felt the need to, because maybe their business wasn't doing much and they felt compelled to put that on their sign. But that's hilarious. I love that. How about this one? Sorry, we're open. Sorry, we're open. And guess what kind of business this is? It's a dentist office. Okay, so if there's any place that you would go to and hope against hope that maybe they're closed, it would be the dentist office. So anyway, I like that one. Sorry, we're open. This one, cautionary sign. Okay, touching the wires causes instant death and a $300 fine. I don't know about you, but that $300 fine is a little bit steep. I couldn't afford that. I'm going to try to stay away from those wires. That's too big a threat. Okay, we have grammar errors where they actually use the wrong word or a misspelling. Violators will be towed and fined $50. So yeah, nice kind of finding that $50. Probably won't even pay your towing charge is the problem with that. In this sign, it's a guy that takes a sign literally. What does the sign say? If your dog poops, pick it up, please. His dog evidently pooped, and so he's following directions and he's picking it up. I saw another version of this where the actual sign posted in the park, and it said, if your dog poops, please place it in the trash. And the guy was actually trying to, put his dog down into the trash can. So anyway, literal interpretations. We use pictures for everything nowadays, right? Instead of spelling out, like, slippery floors, you're slippery when wet or whatever, they just have the picture. And what is that picture showing you? Well, to this person, it means worms may chase you, Another version said 1 in 3 snakes will bite. It's got him by the heel. So I love those modified signs. Another fun one, I've got 2 or 3 that are around the fast food restaurant theme. So KFC, nothing has been modified about this sign. No one's added on their own words. It's just what it is. Nothing funny, right? Except there was a little girl that had this question. Why is his body so tiny? So I'll never look at that sign again. I think, I've always, went with the thought that was his bow tie. Colonel Sanders, his Southern gentleman, wore the bow tie. Now it's his little stick body, and a little girl that wants to know why his body is so tiny. All right. Okay, McDonald's had to get in on the act. They were either missing, they didn't have another S, or someone just wasn't paying attention. But now McDonald's has $1 any size 50-foot drink. Okay, any size 50-foot drink. I'll take one of those, please. And Wendy's, not to be outdone, they advertised that our secret ingredient is our people. Now hiring. Evidently, they ran out of people. Road signs can be fun. You come across this one and you're just going, oh Lord. And I love the little good luck. The next one, similar, but it's even more inspiring. It's more positive. Just speed up a bit. You got this. Yeah, no, I can't vouch. I didn't take that picture. I can't vouch that it's actually there. It wasn't Photoshopped, but I love it. And then one final road sign tells you to stop, keep moving. Okay, what do I do? In the restrooms, we have hand dryers. They've been around for years and years and years. They have pictures to show how they operate. And one person felt they should explain what the buttons mean. Push button, receive bacon. Okay, you can see the bacon coming out there in the second picture. Another sign. It kind of upset me when I first saw this because I read it as, if you see someone drowning, LOL. I was like, why in the world would you laugh out loud if you saw someone drowning? And then someone explained it to me, as people often have to do. No, Clint, that's the person drowning. It's not LOL. That's the person drowning. I'm like, oh, I get it. And call 911. That's the person drowning. And then I said, well, they're drowning in bacon. See, bacon. There it is, drowning in bacon. All right, some things sometimes it's just in how you perceive things. It's in your perspective. Thank you, Chris, for telling me that you're feeling, or that I'm feeling your laughter quotient today. More bacon, yes. All right. So the next picture is kind of in how you read things, how you process things. Because when I looked at this, I was like, no safety, smoking first. And then someone said, no, 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 no. Read left to right like you're supposed to. Oh, no smoking, safety first. Got it. Got it. Okay. Left to right. But then I come across this sign, and guess what? Okay, left to right. You don't matter. Give up. Oh, no, you can't have it both ways. Okay. And then one final example of reading things one way or the other. What does this T-shirt say? We know what the message is, but don't be happy. Worry. Okay. And one other retail establishment, Walgreens, public service announcement. I'm just going to share with you guys. I'm going to let it speak for itself. Okay. Everyone needs to get down to Walgreens because you can get this done. Yeah. I think we better get down there. Thank you, Walgreens. I saw this sign on our summer vacation with my wife to Grand Cayman. And again, commas could have helped, because as it is, it says no smoking dogs vaporing. No smoking dogs vaporing. Okay, I've never seen a smoking dog vaporing, but we'll try to make sure that we don't have one of those on the premises. Tell me, who can use this toilet? Who can use this toilet? Because this toilet only for disabled, elderly, pregnant children. Thank you for shopping with us. Again, commas might have helped to make it a little more understandable. All right, so my point is, there's this silliness around us that when you look at it, when you see it, let yourself chuckle, share it with someone, take a picture, and just take it in and appreciate it. Also, laugh at yourself. As long as you can laugh at yourself, you'll never cease to be amused. I get up every morning and I try to do positive affirmations, in addition to doing some laughter things. And so I'll look in the mirror every morning when I first get up and I'll say, "Good morning, you handsome stud." Well, I feel better about myself momentarily until I see my wife and my dog rolling on the floor laughing. Yeah, at my little affirmation, but that's okay, because they can't laugh at me. They can only laugh with me. I have a license plate that says I laugh, personalized plate, just reminds me to laugh. I have the laughter stress ball. I have laughter buttons, and I have my little friend, laughter monkey. Okay. And so my monkey here, if you press his little paw, he goes crazy. And if you put him on the floor, he rolls around back and forth. It's kind of out of control, but I found the secret is in the tail. Yeah, buddy, I got your number. But anyway, a lot of fun. I take him everywhere I go. And sorry if you couldn't hear what all I was saying over his little hysterical laughter. But he's great fun, and he just reminds me to laugh. And kids love him, adults love him. When I'm presenting in person, I turn him loose on the floor, and we just have a good time. You can find him on Amazon. Just do a search for rollover laughter monkey, and you'll get the results. My wife asked me, "How much did you spend on that thing?" I was like, "It's only like $20 or so." Oh, I do have a name for him. In the chat box, real quick, type in what you think this guy's name might be. Okay. I always ask this question, and no one's gotten his total name right yet that I presented to. So Jessica, I want a monkey. Yes, absolutely. Okay. If you think you know a good name for this guy, tell me, and we'll see. Oh, I like Silly Willy. Thank you, Timothy. Silly Willy would be a good one. It's not the one I chose, but I do like it. Other guesses I've had in the past include, oh, Amy, Clint. That wasn't very original, but I like it. Okay, bonanza, like banana, yeah, bananas. I've had Chuckles, Chunky Monkey. Yeah, I like that one. Isn't that an ice cream flavor? Thomas Jefferson. That's a little different. Might have to hear your thinking behind that one. Okay, Ralph. Okay, so Ross is getting close with his guess. So the actual name, Laughing Larry, I like that one. His name is Rotful LeMayo. Rotful LeMayo, come on, Rotful. And of course, we all know that stands for rolling on the floor, laughing, laughing my arms off, laughing my arms off. Okay. All right. We have to move on. We're going to run out of time. How can you get laughter into your after school or out of school time program? First of all, don't be afraid to be corny. Okay, the kids love it, even if they're rolling their eyes and shaking their heads. To me, that's encouragement. That's what my daughters will say is like, don't do that. That just encourages them. I tell the kids that I was named after Abraham Lincoln. And of course, they know my name and they go like, no, Mr. Clint, you weren't. Your name's Clint Dar. I was like, well, I'm telling you, I was named after Abraham Lincoln. And they're like, oh, how do you figure that? And I tell them, well, he was named in I now forget what the year was, like 1809. When he was born, he was given a name. I was named in 1958. When I was born, I was named after Abraham Lincoln. And they just groan, they roll their eyes, but they go home and they tell their parents, hey, I was named after Abraham Lincoln. And they're like, no, you weren't. You were named after Grandpa Thomas or whatever. Like, no, I was named after Abraham Lincoln. I used to tell my kids I beat my brother up every morning, never got in trouble. And of course, they're always into, teachers that, do funny things or inappropriate things or get in trouble. So they would, like, oh, how did you do that? And I would say, well, my brother, I got up at 7, my brother didn't get up till 7:30. And of course, they groan and moan and promptly go home and try to beat their brother up every morning. So there's different laughter activities, and just in the interest of time, we're going to do one of these because we're sitting here, and a lot of these are up and moving around. Lawnmower laughter is one of my favorites when we do laughter activities with kids, but that has the kids up and moving, pushing their imaginary laughter lawnmowers. It's great. Bird laughter, laughter pills, all very active. Lion laughter is one that we'll do real quick here. And you can, there's one website I listed there, kiddingaroundyoga.com. But, you can just Google laughter activities for kids and you'll get a ton of results and YouTube videos that even show what they look like and how you can do them if the explanation isn't clear in of itself. Lion laughter. This is not kids. I mean, this is, young people, but they're doing lion laughter. So if you'll do lion laughter with me right now, okay, I feel kind of goofy sitting here doing it by myself, but I feel better if I know that some of you all are at least doing this with me. Lion laughter is simple. Your hands become your lion paws. Your tongue has to go down onto your chin, and then you just laugh like you imagine a lion would laugh. Okay, so all of the brave lion-hearted people out there, put your tongue on your chin, get your hands up, and let's laugh like a lion for a few seconds. All right, ready? Go. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, feels kind of goofy when you're sitting by yourself doing it. In a room full of people, it's just really fun as you move around and everyone's interacting with each other. So it's a fun one. And like I said, there's just a huge number of laughter activities. So build those into your day. Have a joke of the day time where kids can tell their jokes and the riddles. Okay, there's knock knock jokes. There's the chicken crossing the road jokes. There's so many out there. Most of them are pretty bad, almost as bad as mine. But let the kids share their jokes it can be a 5-minute segment of your day, but let them share. A kid asked me recently the riddle that's on there. What has 3 heads, 6 eyes, 3 mouths, and 8 legs? And I'm good at riddles, but I was like, oh, you got me, like a monster, an alien, He goes, no. It's a man on a horse carrying a chicken. All right. A man on a horse carrying a chicken. All right. Have a laughing contest, with the kids. Who can laugh the longest, the silliest, the loudest, who can make other people laugh. There's a lot of versions of laughing contests you can do. Designate a laughter leader. Okay, we have other jobs for kids a lot of times. A lot of programs, you'll have like a line leader and a paper passer and a trash collector and all those kind of things. Have a laughter leader. And it can rotate on a daily or weekly basis, so that everyone gets their turn. But let those kids be the laughter leader. And that laughter leader will lead that joke of the day time, the laughing contest, any laughter activities, and the kids will have their favorites that they'll develop over time. Your laughter leader, gets to lead those, and they absolutely love it. Let the kids keep a joke journal. Okay, so a little tie to literacy there. So as they hear jokes, riddles, as funny stories, funny things happen in their lives, or they hear about funny things, okay, they record that, they write it down, because like most people, you forget those things. You forget the funny jokes you hear or the funny stories. And so then when things happen, they're like, oh, I've got to get that down in my joke journal so I can share it at joke of the day time. Relate personal stories. So kids love to get to know their teachers and the people that are leading them. So tell them things about yourself. Let them get to know you and share those funny stories from your past, embarrassing moments, funny moments, whatever. Okay. I tell the kids about the time that I was on an escalator, going up to the second level of a department store, and the power went out. When I was about halfway up, the power went out, the escalator stopped, and I was stuck on that thing for an hour before the power came back on. And of course, the kids just look at me in disbelief, and they're like, Mr. Clint, you could have just walked back down. And I'm like, I wish I would have thought of that. And of course, the next question is, did that really happen? And I always answer the same way. What do you think? And then they're like, it did, didn't it? And we let it go with that. Okay. I tell them about looking for a parking spot one day, and I saw this sign that you see down in the corner of the screen. Sign said fine for parking. So I parked there, came back, had a ticket. And I don't understand why I got a ticket when the sign said it was fine for parking. And of course, the kids are quick to tell me that's not what it meant. Mr. Clint, it means you'll get a ticket if you park here. You'll get a fine for parking. And I wish I would have known that's what it meant. Third question, did that really happen? My answer, what do you think? Oh, it did, didn't it? They think I'm just crazy enough, silly enough that really could have happened. And my favorite story, I've got to share before we move on and wrap things up here in a few minutes. My favorite story is I tell the kids about a childhood experience. And I ask the kids, I'll say, should you get in trouble for doing exactly what your parent tells you to do, following their exact directions, should you get in trouble for that? And they're like, no. I'm like, well, I sure did. One time when I was about your age, my mom knew I didn't like vegetables, and she wanted me to eat healthy. So she set this plate down in front of me, and she said these exact words to me. She said, Clint, I want you to eat every carrot and pea on your plate. I was like, Mom, you don't mean that, do you? And she goes, absolutely. You heard me. I want you to eat every carrot and pea on your plate. And so I did. I ate every carrot, and then I peed on my plate, just like she told me. I've never been in bigger trouble. Got sent to my room. I got spanked. I got grounded. And to this day, I don't know why I got in such big trouble for doing exactly what she told me. Well, the kids, of course, are in hysterics, and they are quick to tell me that that's not what she meant, Mr. Clint. They tell me what she meant, and I'm like, I wish I would have known that. Now, after all these years, I understand. And of course, the kids want to know, did that really happen? What do you think? It did, didn't it? My parents came to visit the school I was teaching at. I was teaching fourth grade. My daughter attended the school, but in a lower grade. It was Grandparents' Day, so my parents came to visit their granddaughter, my daughter, in her classroom. And I told my parents to stop by my classroom and say hi to my fourth graders before they left for the day. Well, they come into the room, and right away, I had told this story a couple weeks previous, and one of the kids ran up to my mom right away and said, Mrs. Dar, did that really happen with the peas and carrots? Well, fortunately, my mom had gotten a little heads up. And so her answer was, what do you think? And of course, then like, it did. We had great fun. With the kids, of course, they can turn it around on you, not even intentionally. There was a little boy, he was looking at a picture book in my class, and I couldn't tell what he was seeing, in his book. And I asked him, what are you looking at? And he goes, it's a freaking elephant. And I was like, oh, I'm glad you were enjoying the picture, but let's describe it in a different way. And he goes, no, that's what it is. It's a freaking elephant. And I was like, okay, let me see what you're looking at here. And there's the caption. So yeah, it was in fact a freaking elephant. Yeah, phonics, that's phonics for you. And last but not least, alter ego. Now, who here is brave enough to take on an alter ego? Okay, it's not a easy thing to do. I mean, you really have to put yourself out there. There's a book called Miss Nelson is Missing. If you haven't read it, it's a great kids book. Miss Nelson is having trouble with her classroom kids. They're being very disrespectful. She doesn't show up one day, and the substitute is named Miss Viola Swamp. Looks a lot like a witch, and she behaves like a witch. She's mean. And the kids are glad after 2 or 3 days to get Miss Nelson back, and they have a whole new attitude toward their teacher. It's a great little book. So I decided alter egos could be fun. So in honor of that, I've invited my brother, my twin brother, to join us today. Okay, so I'm gonna stop the screen for just a second. If I could get my brother in here. Yeah, get on in here. People want to see you. They want to meet you. I'm trying to get him here. Yeah, don't be shy. Get on in here, bro. All right, my brother's here. I would like to introduce to you all the notorious C rapper. Okay, the C and the R in C rapper. Don't put those too close together. All right. Yo, what's going on? I'm going to do a rap that I wrote for you. Here we go. Sometimes in our lives, we're not feeling so great. Politics, violence, disrespect, and yes, hate. We're searching for that American dream for ourselves, for our kids. You know what I mean. We're waiting on the world to change, but the deck has been stacked against us for sure, and there's no going back to the world that we knew way back in time when the streets were safe and people were kind. What do we do to turn it around? Don't know about you, but here's what I found. I look for the good and the fun, and I laugh, and I share what I find times 2.5. My rhyming is lame. I'm an old man rapping. I risk being booed. What I want would be clapping. So laugh if you feel it. I hope that you do, but you can't laugh at me because I'll be laughing with you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the notorious C rapper. All right. I have fun doing that, and I appreciate your response to that. Well, it's our time together is about gone. It goes by so quick, doesn't it? Okay, we've been together nearly an hour because time flies like the wind, and fruit flies like bananas. Fruit flies like bananas. Get it? All right. It is the truth, though, that time flies whether you're having fun or not. So we want laughter in our lives. So you make that choice, and you might as well make it fun. Look at these two characters, and then think about this. Only you can decide who you're going to be today. I love Eeyore. He's sweet. He's adorable. I don't want to be Eeyore. Okay. I want to be Tigger. Tigger's my guy. Okay. You get to make that choice every day, even if it's hard. You may not feel like being Tigger. You might want to be Eeyore. Be Tigger. Don't be like these guys and miss the boat. Okay. I'll let you read the caption yourself. Now you know the real reason that dinosaurs are extinct. All right. And remember my motto, if I can make at least one person smile or pee their pants a little, then my day was not wasted. You all have been great. Definitely my day has not been wasted, and I don't think we even had to do the second thing. We had a lot of laughter and a lot of smiles. Anthony Hopkins said it very well. He said, please stop treating yourself like an afterthought. Eat the delicious food, walk in the sunshine, jump in the ocean, say the truth that you're carrying in your heart like a hidden treasure. Be silly, be kind, be weird. There is no time for anything else. We've shared laughter. We've been reminded of the importance of humor and laughter and the many benefits that it brings. And we've talked about how laughter can be used with kids and how you can keep it in your own life. It may be common sense, but I hope that this experience will make you want to share the good feelings with others. Make laughter not just a part of your day, but a constant presence in your life. If you'd like me to come and present to your group, to your program, give me a shout. It's yougottalaugh.today is the website. And that QR code, if you take your camera and just take a picture of that, that takes you to that website. And that's how you can connect with me. If you want to send me pictures or funny stories, anything like that, I welcome those. I'll use them in future presentations. You've been a great audience. And thank you for laughing with me, laughing at me. But you can't laugh at me, remember, because I'm laughing with you. I don't know that we have much time for questions. We're right up against 1 o'clock, or well, 1 o'clock my time, 2 o'clock Eastern. But open for questions. Elizabeth, you can take it back over when you're ready. And now I'll try to go back and look at some of the comments.
Thank you so much, Clint. We appreciate it. It was such a wonderful hour. And again, I hope everybody is leaving feeling a little lighter and with a little laughter in their hearts. So again, thank you so much. Thank you all for spending an hour of your time with us. Please take a minute and fill out our feedback survey. I made sure that the link is there for you in the chat. And remember that we are doing these webinars every Wednesday from 1 to 2 Eastern time. Share the link with your friends. It's free professional development. Again, we have amazing presenters like Clint who have willing, to spend their time with us. So thanks so much for joining us. And we hope we will see you all at the Beyond School Hours Conference. The registration is open, so take some time, check it out. It's February 9th through the 12th in Orlando, Florida. So have a great afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much.